This is Arakan Times Daily News brought to you by Rohingya Imagination. Assalamu alaikum. I am Zawdir. Today, Friday, 1st July 2016. Headlines. Authority extorts money from Rohingyas for repairing mosques. UK journalist team meets with Rohingya leader in Sittwe. Dhaka for more economic ties with Myanmar. Rohingya vegetable sellers being looted by BJPs. EU must call the Rohingya people Rohingya. Myanmar should dismantle laws blocking free speech, says HRW. The Authority for Religious Affairs of Mongda Township extorted 2.5 lakh jets from Gorakhali villagers of South Mongda on Wednesday 29 June for repairing part of a mosque. The mosque building is known to have become very old and the villagers are having difficulties for prayers, report villagers to Arakan Times. The mosque was originally built with wooden walls and tin roof. Due to decaying of the wood and tin of the roof, the religious house became almost destroyed. To perform prayer in the holy month of Ramadan, the Muslim villagers repaired some parts of the mosque. But when the authority get informed of the repairing, it demanded 5 lakh jets from the committee members of the mosque. The authority has to be finally agreed with 2.5 lakh jets. Since decades of years in the past, the Burmese military government has prohibited building mosques for religious Islamic schools to the Rohingya Muslims in Arakan state. Now, the so-called democratic government led by NLD of Nobel laureate Aung San Suu Kyi is practicing the same rules and norms. A United Kingdom-based journalist team visited the Dhaka refugee camp in Sittwe, Arakan state on June 29. According to the report, the journalist team based in UK, led by Mr. Emerval Stokes, visited the Dhaka Rohingya refugee camp in Sittwe and had a crucial meeting with the Rohingya leader, lawyer Ujala. During the hour-long meeting, the question regarding the national verification cards was raised by the team, and in response, lawyer Ujala said, "There is no legal ground of accepting the national verification cards or NVC, which were not concerned with us and not in line with any law of the world as well. We are the indigenous ethnic Rohingya people of Arakan state, Myanmar. Living for centuries, we had citizenship before and we deserve the rights to citizenship now in our ancestral land," said the leader. "It is a great racial and religious discrimination being conducted by the government that rendered us stateless, denying our citizenship and other human rights by the former military junta and the current Suu Kyi-led NLD government. We expected our rights to citizenship and other human rights would be ensured by the Suu Kyi-led NLD government, and we have been supporting it since its formation. But now it seems it is worse than the previous Tenzing government," said a Rohingya refugee. Dhaka wants economic issues to dominate Bangladesh-Myanmar relationship to remove misunderstanding and misperception. The bilateral trade figure is measured with not even $100 million, where we have ample scope to do businesses, a senior official of the Foreign Ministry of Bangladesh said. He said Dhaka will not discuss domestic political issues of other countries as it considers the subject as internal affairs of the country. Foreign Secretary M. Shahidul Haq went to Myanmar as a special envoy of Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina, the official said. The Foreign Secretary will meet State Councillor and Foreign Minister Aung San Suu Kyi, Chief of Staff Min Aung Hlaing, and Permanent Secretary of Foreign Ministry Wu Aung Lee. He is carrying a letter for Suu Kyi from the Prime Minister, who wants to build new relationship with the neighboring country, keeping all the misunderstanding and misperception aside, and who wants to become development partner of Myanmar. Another foreign ministry official said Rohingya is the most controversial issue between the two countries. The military rulers of Myanmar had kept the issue alive for the past 5 decades, and now, as Myanmar has democratic government, Bangladesh expects that good things will happen, he said. We see some indications that Suu Kyi wants to resolve the problem keeping Rohingyas inside Myanmar, which is very encouraging, he added. Rohingya vegetable and fish sellers are being looted on a daily basis by border guard police of Fort Deal Station of North Maungdaw, Arakan State. On 28 June at 3 p.m., many vegetable and fishes were taken away by the BJPs while the sellers sat down in a central area near the station. And a boy passing through the station was heavily punished. His crime was that he rode his bicycle in front of the station without climbing down, although he didn't. Our ARKAN Times anonymous reporter from the village added that the kindergarten school children were neither given any book nor taught any lessons at school. The school children just go and come to and from school. This is the daily life of Rohingya Muslims living in native Arakan state. The tyrannic government has all been taken their natural rights and are treating them like animals. There is no justice for them in their own native land. The government has even declined their responsibility for the Rohingya Muslims. Even it doesn't allow to identify themselves as an ethnicity despite clear historical documents of their existence hundreds of years ago. Many Rohingya activist organizations outside the country has expressed their concern about EU's decision to use Muslims of Arakan state instead of the term Rohingya for the community of Rohingya in Arakan state. Their joint press release reads as follows. As organizations representing Rohingya people in 9 countries, we express our deep concern and disappointment at the decision that the European Union decided not to use our name when referring to us. The denial of our ethnic identity is an integral part of the discrimination that we face. By failing to use our name, the European Union is not taking a neutral position. It is siding with the racist and nationalist rather than with the oppressed and vulnerable. In the past 5 years, racist, nationalist, and the government administration under former President Thein Sein have deliberately and tactically significantly escalated controversy over the use of the name Rohingya as part of their campaign against us. By refusing to use our own name when talking about us, the EU is handling a victory to racists and nationalists. This will only encourage them to step up their campaigns against us. The European Union is also going against our rights as defined under international law. As the UN Special Reporter on Human Rights in Myanmar has repeatedly stated, the right of minorities to self-identify on the basis of their national, ethnic, religious, and linguistic characteristics is related to the obligation of states to ensure non-discrimination against individuals and groups, a central principle of international human rights law. The EU is now violating that central principle. Addressing all the problems in Rakhine State is complex and will take time, but practical action can be taken now to start this process, and the EU should be encouraging the NLD government to implement them. The European Union should support an independent United Nations international investigation to assess the totality of the human rights situation in Rakhine State. The signatories of the press release are the Burmese Rohingya Organization UK, Bradford Rohingya Community in UK, Burmese Rohingya Community in Denmark, Rohingya Community in Germany, Rohingya Community in Switzerland, Rohingya Organization in Norway, Rohingya Community in Finland, Rohingya Community in Italy, Rohingya Community in Sweden, and Rohingya Society in Netherlands. Myanmar's government, led by Aung San Suu Kyi's National League for Democracy, should amend and abolish laws that threaten freedom of expression, Human Rights Watch said in a report released on Wednesday. Laws covering areas from telecommunications to defamation have been used to arrest at least 70 people this month, said the report's author Linda Lagdir. The arrest come despite reforms by the former President Thein Sein and the NLD, which won the November election in a landslide. We think there has been a mixed bag of achievements on behalf of the new government, said David Matheson, a senior researcher of Human Rights Watch, referring to the NLD's efforts to ease laws restricting freedom of speech. While the NLD deserved credit for the freeing many political prisoners, the legal architecture of repression that put them behind bars remained largely in place, Matheson added. The NLD, made up of many formerly activists and dissidents, has scrapped some restrictive laws and proposed changes to others, such as the Peaceful Assembly Law, which allows for protests that were barred under the junta, but still imposes limits and is used to arrest and jail many demonstrators. The NLD's proposed changes to the law are an improvement, Human Rights Watch has said, but they do not go far enough. The draft bill being discussed in Parliament would punish protesters for spreading wrong information and make it an offense for them to serve from slogans registered in advance with the authorities.
Thanks for watching. Please subscribe.